There is a vegetable that 2 billion people eat for dinner tonight. Not occasionally, not as a specialty ingredient, as a daily staple, the same way most people in this country eat lettuce or spinach. Most Americans have never heard of it, and there is a specific reason for that. This plant is listed as a federal noxious weed under the Plant Protection Act. It is illegal to transport between U.S. states without a federal permit. In Florida, possessing it without a permit is prohibited. That sounds like a plant you would want to avoid. It is not. In 7 days, a single cutting of this plant triples its above-ground growth, without a greenhouse, without fertilizer, without any equipment. It delivers iron content competitive with red meat, fresh leaf to cooked beef, gram for gram. It grows back within a day of being harvested, and in most U.S. states you can start one on a windowsill this week. The reason it was made illegal is not what you think. It is not toxic. It has not been linked to illness. The government classified it for a reason that has nothing to do with eating it. And there is no other leafy vegetable available to home growers that matches its production rate. Not lettuce, not spinach, not kale. 2 billion people have been eating this plant while America spent decades trying to eliminate it from existence. This video covers what this plant is, what the science says about its nutrition, why it is actually illegal, whether it is safe to grow and eat at home, and a complete container growing guide for the states where you can legally start this week. Stay through to the breakthrough reveal in the middle, because the reason this plant became illegal, once you understand it, is the same reason it is the most extraordinary vegetable you have probably never grown. Drop your state in the comments. Just the state. The legal situation varies, and this channel reads those comments. Welcome to Roots and Garden, where plants that most people overlook are taken seriously. Most people see the words, more iron than meat, and assume there is a catch. There is no catch. But the full story is more interesting than the headline, and the numbers, when you look at them honestly, are closer than the thumbnail suggests. That is what makes what happens next worth paying attention to. The USDA records this plant at 1.98 milligrams of iron per 100 grams of raw leaf. A standard beef sirloin delivers approximately 2.6 milligrams per 100 grams. Close, not identical. The World Health Organization estimates that iron deficiency anemia affects approximately 1.62 billion people globally, the single most prevalent nutritional deficiency on the planet. The groups most affected, children under 5, pregnant women, and women of reproductive age. But here is where the plant does something beef cannot. Plant iron needs a helper to be absorbed. Vitamin C is that helper. It converts plant iron into the form the intestine uses most efficiently. This was confirmed in a foundational study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition and has been replicated consistently. Water spinach contains vitamin C naturally. The plant packages its own absorption enhancer alongside the iron. It came with the solution built in. The squeeze of lime that every Southeast Asian recipe adds at the end is not flavoring. It is a nutritional decision that every cook in that tradition understood without knowing the biochemistry. That lime is not a garnish. It is unlocking the iron in a way a supplement capsule cannot replicate. A 2023 study published in Frontiers in Nutrition confirmed rich chemical composition, including over 65 different compounds and significant antioxidant activity. This is not a simple leafy green. It is a complex nutritional package. If you have ever bought iron supplements because your diet felt deficient, this plant was solving that problem for free, in a pot, for centuries before the supplement industry existed. 2 billion people never needed to. They had the plant. And this is the part nobody mentions. A plant that addresses the single most prevalent nutritional deficiency on the planet was classified the same way as a toxic invasive species and removed from the American food conversation. The classification was accurate for waterways. The side effect was that most Americans never learned this plant existed. This plant has so many names across Asia that it is often the first vegetable children learn to recognize. Parents point to it in markets before they point to much else. It is that fundamental. In the Philippines, they call it Kangkong. In Vietnam, rau muong. In China, where it has been cultivated for over 2,000 years, it is Kongxing Cai. Kongxing Cai means hollow heart vegetable. That name is worth pausing on. Most vegetables need help moving water. This plant built its own plumbing. The hollow stem pulls water from soil directly into the growing tip. The plant grows as fast as it drinks. The name is not poetry. It is an engineering description. The people who gave it that name 2,000 years ago understood the mechanism before any laboratory confirmed it. Stand at any traditional wet market in Bangkok, Manila, or Ho Chi Minh City, and you will see this vegetable in quantities that suggest it is not optional. It is infrastructure. Tender shoot tips and stir-fries, thick stems blanched and dressed cold, one of the first vegetables children learn to recognize. Dinner for families who cannot afford to miss a meal. This is not a niche ingredient. It has fed more people over more time than most of the vegetables considered standard in a Western grocery store. 2 billion people built meals around this plant, while American grocery stores stocked a vegetable section that had never heard of it. This was not kept secret. It was simply never introduced. The gap between one food culture's daily dinner and another food culture's regulation list is not a conspiracy. It is just a distance that most people never had a reason to cross. If you have spent time in Southeast Asia and eaten in local markets, you have almost certainly eaten this. If you have not, that is the gap this video closes. Water spinach was introduced to the United States intentionally. Agricultural researchers brought it in during the 1950s as a potential crop. They recognized exactly what communities across Asia had known for 2,000 years. This grows fast, yields heavily, requires almost no input, and delivers serious nutrition. It was, by every measure, a promising American food plant. Then it escaped cultivation, and everything changed. In 2006, the USDA listed Ipomoea aquatica as a federal noxious weed under the Plant Protection Act, illegal to import or transport between states without a valid federal permit. Florida classifies it as a prohibited aquatic plant, Class 1. Possession without a special permit is prohibited, a plant that doctors in Southeast Asia recommend for patients with anemia, a plant that researchers have published pharmaceutical studies on, a plant that has fed billions of people across thousands of years without a single documented case of harm from eating it. Illegal to possess in Florida without a permit, a vegetable. America banned the spread. 2 billion people built dinner around it. A doctor in Manila might recommend this plant to an anemic patient. A regulatory officer in Florida would hand a citation to the same patient for growing it near open water. Both are operating correctly within their systems. The gap between those two systems is exactly the distance this video covers. Water spinach was not banned because it harmed people. It was banned because it grew. Most people assume that if a plant is classified as a noxious weed, there must be a human safety reason. That assumption is wrong. The government did not classify it based on what it does to you. They classified it based on what it does to waterways. When it escaped cultivation into Florida's waterways, it did exactly what it always does. It grew. Fast, continuously, without help. In open water, it forms dense floating mats across the surface. Those mats shade out native vegetation. They slow water flow in drainage canals. The ecological concern is real and documented, so the classification is accurate for its purpose. Protecting native freshwater ecosystems from a plant that outgrows everything else in open water. But here is what the classification does not say. It does not say the plant is dangerous to eat. It does not say it is toxic. It does not say it is harmful to human health. It says growing it in open aquatic environments causes ecological damage. This plant was not banned because it hurts you. It was banned because it grows faster than anything the regulatory system knew what to do with. The exact trait that makes it illegal is the exact trait that makes it extraordinary. 2 billion people looked at this plant's growth rate and thought, dinner. American regulators looked at the same growth rate and thought, threat. Both assessments were looking at the same plant. Which surprised you more, that this plant delivers iron competitive with beef, or that its growth rate is the specific reason it became illegal? Drop your answer below. The ecological concerns are legitimate. They are not invented by regulators. The USGS, University of Florida, and multiple ecological studies document the damage in open waterways. A stem fragment, even a small one, that reaches open water can establish a new plant. The vegetative reproduction that makes this plant ideal for home growing is the same property that makes it a genuine management problem in uncontrolled environments. Both things are true. Neither cancels the other. Do not grow this near open water, natural drainage, or any outdoor water feature connected to a natural waterway. That is not a disclaimer. That is the actual line. The risk lives at the intersection of this plant and open water with access to natural systems. That intersection does not include a sealed pot on a kitchen shelf. The law does not draw that distinction. The science does. Water spinach is one of a small number of plants studied specifically for its ability to absorb heavy metals from contaminated water. The plant stores whatever is in the water it grows in. This is the safety fact most growing guides either skip or bury. Research from the Bangkok region found elevated concentrations of mercury, lead, and cadmium in water spinach harvested from polluted waterways. The plant does not choose what it drinks. It keeps everything. For container-grown plants in clean bagged potting mix, this concern does not apply. The contamination pathway does not exist if there is no contaminated source. The same leaves that accumulated heavy metals in polluted canals are completely safe when grown in the sealed container that millions of Southeast Asian apartment gardeners have used for generations. Your container sits on a shelf in clean potting mix. The plant has absorbed nothing but the water you gave it. One additional note. Water spinach contains oxalates, similar to spinach. Brief cooking, 30 to 60 seconds in high heat, reduces oxalate content significantly. The cultures that have eaten this for 2,000 years have always cooked it quickly. The tradition and the science arrived at the same answer independently. Before the growing guide, subscribe to Roots and Garden. This is the kind of content this channel produces every week. Free, one click. Under warm, humid, well-watered conditions, this plant grows at approximately 10 centimeters per day. A single established cutting placed in moist soil can triple its above-ground growth within 7 days. By the time most vegetables wake up in the morning, this one has already started breakfast. For comparison, spinach requires 40 to 50 days from seed to first harvest. Kale requires 55 to 75. Lettuce requires 30 to 45. Water spinach from a cutting shows visible new growth within 24 hours and is ready for its first harvest in 2 to 3 weeks. Next Friday, you will cut leaves from the same plant you started this weekend. The week after, the 2 cut points will each have produced 2 new shoots. By week 3, the pot you started with 2 cuttings has 6 harvest points. You cut from one side while the other side is already growing back. 3 days from now, you will walk past the pot and think someone swapped it for a larger plant. You did not imagine it. The harvest is not a single event. It is a continuous rhythm. Most vegetables have a growing season. This one has a growing hour. 2 billion people already know how to cook what you are about to grow. That is not intimidating. That is 2 billion people who can tell you exactly what to do with it. Legal note first. Check your specific state regulations before growing. Florida, Arizona, and a small number of other states prohibit possession without a permit. In most states, growing water spinach in a sealed container indoors is not prohibited. The restrictions target open aquatic environments and interstate transport. Check your State Department of Agriculture website before starting. Container, at least 20 centimeters deep, 30 centimeters wide. Any sealed pot, nothing that drains into natural waterways. Soil, moist, well-draining potting mix. Clean bagged mix eliminates the heavy metal concern entirely. Cuttings, obtained from an Asian grocery store. Check that stems are fresh with visible nodes. Plant 5 to 10 centimeters into soil with at least 2 nodes below the surface. Light, 4 to 6 hours of direct light daily. A south-facing window or warm balcony is ideal. Water, keep soil consistently moist, not waterlogged. Temperature, 25 to 35 degrees for optimal growth. Critical, do not place near drainage systems, gutters, or any outdoor water connected to natural waterways. The harvest. Cut the top 15 to 20 centimeters of the shoot. Do not pull the plant. Leave the root and stem intact. Within 24 hours, sometimes less, new lateral shoots begin emerging from the cut point. 1 harvest point becomes 2, 2 become 4. The plant is restocking itself while you cook what you just took from it. Subscribe before the final section, because how you cook this plant determines how much of the iron you actually absorb. Subscribe. Free. High heat. A little oil. Garlic. 30 seconds in a wok or pan. The stems stay slightly crisp. The leaves wilt but hold their color. Do not overcook. The texture and the nutrition are both better at the 30-second mark than they are at 90%. Add a squeeze of lime at the end. That lime is not a garnish. It is the instruction. The vitamin C converts plant iron into the form the intestine absorbs most efficiently. Every traditional preparation across Asia pairs these greens with citrus, tomato, or another vitamin C source. The cooking practice and the nutritional science arrived at the same answer independently. One through thousands of years of practice. One through controlled laboratory conditions. Tonight, if you have the plant and a wok, you will understand in 30 seconds why this preparation has not changed in 2,000 years. You squeeze half a lime over the wok. The leaves are wilted but still bright. The stems have a satisfying slight crunch. You are not taking a supplement. You are eating the most accessible iron source in the history of human nutrition, made more bioavailable by the citrus that the culture it came from has always served alongside it. 2 billion people have been doing this for dinner while American households were driving to a pharmacy to buy what grows in a pot. In the Philippines, Kangkong is called the vegetable of the poor. Not as an insult, as a description of abundance. It is what abundance looks like when money is not the metric. The families growing this are not wealthy. They are not using pharmaceutical iron tablets. They have access to a plant that grows faster than anything else, provides iron in concentrations competitive with meat, packages its own absorption enhancer, and regrows within a day of harvesting. The system works. It has always worked. That plant was removed from the American food conversation almost entirely, not through conspiracy, through a regulatory classification that was legitimate for its intended purpose, protecting waterways, and that had an unintended side effect. Making one of the most nutritious, fastest-growing food plants on the planet effectively inaccessible to American households. Nobody sat down and decided to hide this from you. The distance between what 2 billion people eat for dinner and what most Americans have ever been shown in a grocery store is not a conspiracy. It is just an enormous, unexamined gap that most people never had a reason to cross. The world is not short of plants that can feed us better than the crops we chose to industrialize. What we are short of is the willingness to look carefully at what was already growing. 2 billion people already know this. The science already knows this. The only variable now is whether you decide to look. The world was never short of plants that can feed us better. It never was. What changed was which plants we were allowed to notice. Which are you doing first, starting a container from cuttings or finding it at a local Asian grocery store to cook? Drop it below. And if you know someone who has been struggling with iron or slow-growing greens, share this video with them. Subscribe to Roots and Garden. Free, every week.